And welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed SSLD versus Storm Gaming as the first match of round 2, day 3. But now we're going to end things off with what everyone has been waiting for. Up next, we have Onsyde Gaming versus the CranKy Ducklings.
Yeah, we have coming up a Terran so powerful that he's been called the fourth race. He is one of the greatest players of all time. He is an absolute superstar. His name is Vindicta.
Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. But before we get into the shaft that is Migs, we are getting into these players here as, oh my god, Solar, Neeb, Rex, Maru, and they even have Crank with a player portrait. Interesting. I don't know if he's ever going to play, but he can if they need him.
Yeah, love to see it. But meanwhile, here we have our Ducklings. Here they are. We have Dolan, Eric, Oreo, PattyMac. Look at that. Look at that wry smile.
Look at
Powerful.
that smile. Oh my god, with their lovely, beautiful jerseys. And of course, the star of the hour himself, Starduck, is here. And Miguelito Vindicta himself, the ace player of the CranKy Ducklings. He'll be featured later on today as we are going to be looking at the head-to-head here. Looks like they're both favored, or at least they enjoy playing against Zerg.
Yeah, we had the star players here, Maru and Vindicta. Good to see them lined up next to each other. Meanwhile, if we do need to take out Maru in KS2, we do have Starduck ready.
We do have our ace KS2 player, you're not wrong. And here we go. This is the lineup of today. 3 best of 3s, a TVT between Maru and Dolan, a ZVP between Solar and PattyMac, and we end things off with a ZVT Rex versus Vindicta.
Yeah, there we go. We have those matches ready to go, but here we are. Oh my.
Let's go. We were talking about it.
So
S, Papi. How do you go from Cure B to Maru S? Is there even an A Terran?
Man, look at those 10s, but meanwhile we have our strategy powerhouse in Dolan, and he is going to be looking to snipe Maru out with some very creative builds. I am excited for this one.
I am excited as well. Dolan, he is the strategist right now. He's being engulfed in the blue, engulfed in the Maru, but they don't even know, mate. They don't even know what the Dolan builds are.
Yeah, they have no idea what befalls Maru here on Waterfall. Meanwhile, Maru with that powerful S tier and coming up for this one. So it's going to be up to Dolan to really catch him off guard here.
Yeah, is Maru one of the only players with 10s?
Yeah, it's the first 10 I've seen.
Yeah, the first 10, and he's got multiple. He's got 3 10 out of 10s, mate. As we get in to Waterfall in the top right-hand corner, representing Onsyde Gaming, the Blue Terran, Maru.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, he is the underdog, but it is the CranKy Ducklings, Dolan.
Here we go. Dolan has been preparing for this series. All of our players have been preparing for this iconic match against Onsyde Gaming. Oh, we even have our lovely player cams, and we can actually get a glimpse into their rooms, unlike those green screens that people had going on earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Maru just going to be throwing down that extra racks. He does have all those menacing trophies in the background as well. Meanwhile, for Dolan, it looks like he's just going to be... where's his racks? I think he's just hiding his racks.
Yeah, his racks is looking a little bit hidden here, not quite where it should be. There we go, behind the mineral line. It has been thrown down. Meanwhile, Maru opening up with a bit of a 2 racks.
Yeah, this is something that I've seen Maru do before on this map as well. Something that does lend itself to such a small map as well. Actually delaying that second gas a little bit as well, just to get this second gas out. So this does mean that he can go for a few Reapers early on to put on a bit of pressure to start off with, and maybe go into a 2-on-1 for a fast drop after that. This is something that I saw him do against Beyond recently.
Yeah, we'll see if Dolan is aware of the potential for this build. So far, he goes for an SCV Scout, is none the wiser as he is denied entry into the main base with that Rax. Meanwhile, across the map, Maru goes for his own SCV Scout, and it looks like he may have seen that Rax as well.
Yeah, I believe he did just catch wind of that Rax, sees the gases as well, sees that Dolan has pulled off the gases, so he should know that this is a very standard opener coming out here.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing too crazy coming in from Dolan other than the building placement, just to throw his opponent off a little bit and maybe cause a little bit of havoc in the mind of Maru. But Maru with that 10 mindset, unfazed.
Yeah, interestingly as well, this build that Maru's gone for is a blind counter to a 2-Rax as well. So pretty fortunate for Dolan that he was just faking it out, not actually going for a 2-Rax here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So thankfully he doesn't fall into any kind of trap like that. The game will progress. The game will go on right now. Just going to be respecting the Reaper here of Maru, as Maru did shoot first, and going to be backing on up, giving Maru the map control.
Yeah, Maru looking calm, almost bored as always in that webcam. Very unfathomable, if you will. We'll just be pumping out these Reapers, going up to 5 Reapers now already with that factory going down behind this. Meanwhile, for Dolan, he has finished up an early reactor, so he will be able to match the Reaper production once that kicks in.
Oh, exactly, but he does get forced to cancel that deeper. Forced to rebuild as well, so hopefully that doesn't slow him down too much here when it comes to his overall production. His CC already also on the way here, but actually, yeah, a little bit faster than that of Maru's.
Yeah, and he will have these Hellions as well, so if he can be in position, he is going to be able to start to take out these Reapers, but Maru, he has not stopped building Reapers. He's going up to 7 Reapers.
Oh my god, that's a lot of Reapers, Papi, and with that he's going to have so much burst damage, so much firepower once he does try to force his way up into the natural. So far, he does rotate around, and there we go, he's going in.
Yeah, he's going to be jumping straight in, and wow, denies this with just a millisecond left on the building. That is so annoying for Dolan. Means he's going to have to throw down this other SCV, and that can be sniped down as well. Does get the finish on the CC, though, and we'll be able to start that orbital up. But yeah, that beautiful micro from Maru.
Yeah, exactly. That was so close, almost getting the snipe for a second time there, but at least Dolan does finish things up. Things also don't start snowballing here. He's able to hold on to his natural for the time being, but there are still so many Reapers, and Maru is not stopping Reaper production.
Yeah, this Cyclone coming out just at the perfect time is going to be able to turn back Maru. But Maru, like you were saying, just pumping out those Reapers again and again. He is finally going to get the add-ons on those Raxes, but he is committed so hard to this pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And because of this commitment, he has to make it worth it. He has to deal some damage. He does delay the CC a little bit, which is a start. But can he keep going from here? We do see him try and dive on top of this Cyclone, but does take quite a number of hits.
Yeah, beautiful focus fire there as well, just taking out all the Reapers, and that does mean that he is going to be able to start putting pressure on this Cyclone. Good maneuvering here from Dolan. Is just going to be able to try to get that Cyclone out of there, but the Cyclone, it goes down.
The Cyclone goes down. That's it. That's all the units available here for Dolan. A tank is going to barely come out here and force all of this back, but how many workers are going to fall as a result of this? 3 SCVs. Can he get a 4th? Up.
Yeah, nice dancing with the SCVs there. He's actually going to be able to save a lot of those is Dolan. Even going to be able to pull these SCVs away. Nice little split at the last minute there. So only 4 SCVs going down, but did lose a lot of his units there, including that all-important Cyclone.
Yeah, exactly. With the Cyclone going down, he's going to have so much less here to defend. So much less kind of presence on the map as well. At least he was able to fend this off for the time being, but we can see as a result of all this aggression, he is behind in that worker count.
Yeah, and those trades have been very nice for Maru here, and he finds himself with a huge worker lead in a mirror matchup. Such a big worker lead. It is very significant.
Yeah, 10 workers at that. But what does Dolan have? Well, at least he's got a couple of Ravens already. The first is already done. We have a second on the way. This is something that Maru is neglecting or opting not to go for. So because of this, Dolan is going to have a couple of high-tech units. He's going to be able to make use of them.
Yeah, Maru going to be going for a fast 2-on-1 double drop with a pretty quick +1 attack behind this as well. So possibly looking for some aggression on 2 bases here against Dolan. It's going to be very important for Dolan that he just stays home. Actually making a 3rd Raven here as well. So it looks like he's quite aware of what the follow-up is going to be for Maru. The 3 Ravens give you a lot of utility against the double drop.
Yeah, and there is a scan into the main base, getting an eye on all of the production of Maru. Now Dolan is fully aware of the 2-on-1, of the upgrades, of the potential drop as well from Maru. So he knows he just needs to chill and get ready to receive any kind of push.
Yeah, that's right. He will be ready to receive. Meanwhile, the Vikings coming out from Dolan as well. Actually going for, wow. This is very unusual. I didn't quite catch that second starport going down, but he is making 4 Vikings at a time.
Wow, he's pulling a little bit of Juanito here, going for the double starport mass Viking production here. This can hit quite powerfully, especially if it does catch these drops.
Yeah, great job by Dolan just zoning out those drops here. We'll be able to reposition the tanks as well with the time that he's bought himself. Actually might be looking for a bit of a push of his own. And I'm very interested to see how these 2 builds are going to match up here.
Oh, exactly. We shall see. We have a lock on one of those tanks, but the tank does get pulled back. Another focus fire on the Raven, but it does manage to survive here. Dolan keeping up with the rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. But Maru here putting on so much pressure. And with these extra Vikings coming out from Dolan, it's going to be very important for him to try to get some value out of those.
Oh my god, almost gets the tank as well. So much DPS dealt to that. Thankfully, Dolan does barely keep it alive. And with the siege of his tanks, with his mass Ravens and Vikings, he will be able to force all of this back. Oh.
Yeah, really nicely done from Dolan, from Maru, sorry, just unsiege there. But Dolan, he's going to go for it, throws down the turrets. He's going to be jumping on top of these tanks, but the focus fire, pretty good for Maru, taking down one tank, both players trading out those tanks. The Vikings are going to be landed here, but a little bit prematurely. There is no support for them.
Yeah, exactly. We had two tanks in the backline, and unfortunately, they weren't doing anything in that engagement until the tail end of that. Dolan does kind of force Maru back, but he did end up losing, I believe, all of his Ravens. Oh, no, sorry, kept two of them alive.
Yeah, both Ravens are alive here. They're going to be repaired up. They're going to be able to recharge a little bit of that energy. Meanwhile, for Maru, getting that third base up and running, it's going to be very important for him with all those Vikings of Dolan, just to keep Dolan on his side of the map here.
And we'll see if he can pull that off once again, pushing out here with two. Oh my god, with that drop, looking to try and catch whatever he can. At the same time, Dolan looking to try and maneuver around it. Oh my god, we have a drop on top of the tanks.
Yeah, a lot of killer instinct coming out from Maru here. He's going to be dropping on those tanks. He's going to be saving that tank as well, so very nice micro, but he's going to lose both tanks here to the turrets.
Yeah, loses, trades tanks for tanks here in the end. Interesting choice. I'm a little bit interested also by Dolan's Viking count. He's just got non-stop Viking production. It's actually getting a little bit insane.
Yeah, it is absolutely ballooning here. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes up against the Stim Marine-based push from Maru. I think it's a little bit of an overextension that we're seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, those Ravens do get targeted down. We do have a siege up on this tank. The Marines are going to fall, so Dolan does end up trading here. But again, losing those Ravens, that's something that we were kind of praising for him earlier to continue to make use of them as the game went on. Now, he cannot.
Yeah, so Maru, just with that stim, is going to be forcing another siege out of Dolan. Dolan just going to be able to start creeping that tank forward, but doesn't really have too many tanks to support it here.
Yeah, he doesn't have too many whatsoever, mainly Vikings here. One single Marine just runs on forward as well, being a little bit of a nuisance, doing so much damage to that one lone tank. And again, it's only a single tank, and Dolan he unsieges.
Yeah, big surround there coming out from Maru, just arcing right onto these units, and he's going to be taking a lot of these Vikings down. I think this is the beginning of the end for Dolan.
Yeah, exactly. Just too many losses here in the end. Maru just trading out too well, shaving off whatever tanks he could, not allowing that tank count to really get up.
That Marine spread at the end was incredible there. So Maru showing his skills, looking honestly completely bored as always. It's just like, all right, it looks like he's just playing on his phone or something. But he gets that 1-0, and Dolan, he had some good moments in that game, to be honest. He did have a decent build matchup to start off with. I think he would have preferred if Maru was playing more of a tank-based style, so those extra Vikings could have come into play there. But really, considering how things were going throughout that game, made a pretty good showing of himself.
Definitely. Like, again, he was able to survive that early game relatively well. I was really impressed with his initial defense of that first push, where he was able to, again, just throw down as many auto turrets and keep those Ravens alive. But yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't snowball the way that he would like. And as you were saying, I'm sure he was hoping for a more tank-heavy style, not as much a 2-on-1.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit unfortunate to be facing off against all those Stim Marines with the Vikings, but here we do have the next map picked out. It is going to be Inside and Out, another smaller, shorter map. So I wonder if Dolan has something specifically prepared for this map.
Oh, we shall see. I mean, I can say yes. He does have something prepared specifically for this map. He is the strategist of the CranKy Ducklings, by the way. He has the biggest brain possible to be held within the cranium of a duck. But yeah, I'm curious as to whether or not he can make this work. Right, we were talking about it about Team GP. We were talking about it as well with Firefly in his series. Right, if you come in prepared, you can cause these upsets.
Yeah, absolutely. But here we are in the bottom left-hand corner of the map playing for Onsyde Gaming. It is Maru.
Oh, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside, and now we have the CranKy Duckling himself. It is Dolan. Getting proxy racks.
Yeah, Maru going for a very early proxy racks here. I wonder if this is something that Dolan has anticipated at all. Maru being very aggressive here to start this one out.
Yeah, exactly. Maru's kind of known for his proxy Raxes, so I would hope that Dolan would kind of take this into consideration. The scary thing about this, though, is that even if he is kind of sub-aware of this, these proxy Raxes can do so much damage as Dolan. He's sending out his own SCVs across the map.
Oh, yeah, this is quite unfortunate. Looks like Dolan is actually going to be doing a bit of a signature build of his, going for a 3 racks with 1 racks at home. This is absolutely designed to be going up against a standard build because it looks normal at home. You can throw down that extra SCV at the front just to block that off so that all that the opposition sees is just a normal TBT wall offer, which is in Maru. He's like rubbing his eyes.
He's waking up, puppy. He's like, I just want to go to bench.
Yeah. So the problem here for Dolan is he only has 1 racks at home and he has all of his production on the other side of the map and he's making Reapers. So he's completely outnumbered. This is, yeah, a hard build order counter for Maru.
I think we've actually seen this before in WTL, actually. Like, I can't remember if it was with Dolan or with Vindicta, but yeah, going for this 3 racks against the 2 racks, it is a little bit smudge here. We'll see if maybe Dolan can make something happen, but yeah, already the first Reaper is out here for Maru.
Yeah, going to be going straight in there. Dolan very aware of what's going on as well. He's going to be using these SCVs just to zone out the units of Maru. Unfortunately for him, this does mean that Maru is not aware yet of what Dolan is doing.
Yeah, exactly. Maru himself is in the dark for the time being. SCV is going to get focused out, but in come those Reapers target firing right now. This first Reaper of Dolan.
Oh, yeah, very important that he keeps this Reaper alive, especially with the second Reaper about to pop, but this is such a difficult situation for Dolan here, and with Maru getting into the main base, seeing that there are no SCVs on the minerals, he's going to be aware of what's going on now.
Yeah, exactly. We do have the Reapers coming in here from across the map, but again, they are from across the map. It takes them so long to get back home.
Yeah, all of these SCVs going down. This is an absolute disaster for Dolan. He's doing the best that he can with a pretty rough lineup of the builds, but I think this is just going to be too much. GG.
GG gets cold. You're talking about it. We don't get too many build order wins in StarCraft 2 in Legacy of the Void, but every now and then it does happen, and yeah, I don't know how you're meant to respond there if you're Dolan in that situation.
Yeah, I think he did everything he could there, but honestly, there's not much you can do with that matchup of builds. So a little bit unfortunate there. And Maru just gonna kind of sigh, move about in his chair a little bit and turn the camera off. So there we go. Big pop off.
Big pop off, mate. A big win there for old mate Maru as he does take the 2-0 over Dolan. But now we are getting ready for our next series here. It is gonna be that PVZ.
Mate, it is time. It is time for the tip. It is time for PattyMac. He is, of course, the player that got us into the Code S in the first place when we were down to the wire in that match against Berserker Esports, that qualifying match. He was the one that managed to take that win over Battlebee that qualified us in the end. So very excited to see him going up against one of the best Zerg players in the world in Solar.
Exactly, and PattyMac just came off his win as well in DreamHack, taking down Scarlet 2-1 in a best of 3. So PattyMac has had some pretty impressive results recently in this matchup. So I do have faith in the tip. I have faith in the Mac himself. But at the same time, he's also very stylistic, and I have to wonder if Solar did decide to study his opponents.
Yeah, he had some pretty interesting builds that he went up against Scarlet with. One that I do remember quite vividly now, going for a bit of an adept player into Phoenix DT, which is really cool.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We go 3 gates adept into Phoenixes, into DTs, into Skytoss if the game goes on long enough. So there's multiple facets, there's multiple kind of tech paths there for PattyMac if he goes for that style. But I also am pretty sure that is very map dependent as well. Not really willing to throw that out on some of the smaller maps.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to have to see what he has in store for Solar. And if I'm Solar, I am quaking in my boots because he is facing the full might of Voltron.
Oh yeah, exactly. Voltron, he is coming out strong here for the CranKy Ducklings. And is it going to be enough? I believe maybe I'm on some copium, maybe I'm delirious because I was supposed to take another Panadol and I actually didn't.
I was going to ask you if you took your Panadol. Did you have some water at least?
I have some tea. I have some lukewarm tea because I boiled it at the start of the broadcast and I didn't have it until the middle of the broadcast, miss.
Incredible. Absolute animal.
Right.
Like,
It's fine. If you want the
Powering
paracetamol delivered to your door, then check out Hojo. Because they can deliver to your door.
can they?
I don't know.
Yeah, we do have those lovely sponsors lining the bottom of the screen there. So very glad to have all those on board making this possible through, I think it's SC Boy that's running this tournament as well. Yeah, and just glad that we get to be a part of it, get to cast this one because, you know, it's pretty crazy that CranKy Ducklings are able to be a part of this. Like, it was such a great journey that we had qualifying here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we didn't really get to talk about it too much coming into this because we had to quickly get into the first game. But for those who don't know, the CranKy Ducklings, we are a spawn, if you will, of Crank. Crank, who was featured earlier in the player pictures, he is the manager of Onsyde Gaming. He's also a very renowned caster in the Korean scene. He does so much for the community. And he used to stream in English. He used to have very, very good English and stream consistently every single day of the week. And that's kind of where we came from. We all kind of found each other in his chat. Myself, Kuro, Yaku, Steel Mode, Kata, Milk and Cookies, all the OGs. We all kind of met up there, and so we kind of formed our own community. Afterwards, Crank did, due to reasons in 2016, Crank did decide to stop streaming in English, focus on Korean casting instead. And as a result, as his English community, we decided to band together and make something ourselves.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of the origin story of the CranKy Ducklings, a little superhero origin story coming in. So this is a team that we do have some pretty close ties with. So very excited. This is definitely one that we've been looking forward to going up against.
Definitely. I mean, I kind of wish that I understood Korean because I would love to like tune into the Korean cast. I know Crank is casting right now over on his own Twitch channel, and I know that he's been telling us that he himself has been like giving us a little bit of praise and giving us some shout outs and letting people know who we are in the Korean scene. So yeah, it feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah, hopefully for the sake of his team, he's been telling them to watch out for the Patty. Watch out for the Dolan, watch out for the big mix, because they are coming full force, and we are far from out of this one. As we load on in here.
Exactly. You know, it's one of those things where Dolan falling to Maru, it would have been great if he was able to take a game here, but it is Maru. You know, he is the first S-tier player that we have come across so far in WTL, so he is a mountain to overcome. So I hope that Dolan doesn't feel too bad about this loss, too bad about this game, because, I mean, it's Maru. It's Maru.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, what do you think Solar's mindset is gonna be?
Oh, okay. So if it was ZVP mindset, it should be 5. It should be Solar should be like a flat line. Solar
is that just every Zerg?
Maybe. Oh god, very vocal about his disdain for ZVP, especially last season, especially at the beginning of the year, and even now, like he's been having a lot of issues with it. So as a result, I do think that maybe his mindset is going to be struggling a little bit. But they go for general stats, you know, so maybe it's going to be a little bit higher. It should be one of his lower stats, though. One of his lower stats.
All right, we'll give it a 7.
7. There you go.
And the mindset of PattyMac? Off the charts, in the club.
Yeah. S tier. S tier mindset, mate. Let's go. He comes in all suave, all Chad-like, if you will. He's gonna be, by the time we see him on this player cam, he's gonna be like playing with his feet on the desk as well. You know, he's gonna have a cigarette in his mouth. He's gonna be having the time of his life, and even if he doesn't falling, he's gonna have a wild time.
We're gonna give him 10 in suave, 10 in still your girl.
Oh god, yeah, exactly. He's dangerous, man. He's dangerous. You know, you don't want to. You want to be careful around him, papi. Ay.
Whoa.
Oh god. But yeah. So we'll see how this all kind of pans out. Hopefully everything's okay. From my understanding, PattyMac is awake and he is joining the Zoom call, and I believe he has all the information he needs. So hopefully there's no issues from our side.
We do think he is probably awake.
he responded to me, so like I oh, there we go.
Here we go. And 7 in mindset. My God.
Beautiful, mate. There you go. It makes the most sense. If Solar is coming out as apparently a B tier player as well. Wait, was Dark A? Dark was A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Solar coming in B. I mean, you can make that argument, I guess. Meanwhile, we do have our Patty of the Mac and mindset 6, mate. Come on. Come on.
It is him coming in strong there with the offense, with the micro. I have to agree with that one still. And it does look like we are, in fact, going to be having Tropical Sacrifice.
Oh, this, I think, is ideal for PattyMac's style here. If Solar lets PattyMac play his game, I'm actually afraid for Solar. And the thing is about Solar is that he is one of the least aggressive Zerg players in Korea right now. When you think about Rogue, when you think about Dark, when you think about Ragnarok, like they're all about that. Solar, less so. He does adopt more of the EU style.
Yeah, we see Solar there with that 9 in macro, and I think that's very accurate. Solar is one that likes to kind of take the punches a little bit and just deflect them to start off with and power up before he goes further into the game and becomes a force to be reckoned with. Very strong with his creep spread, very strong with his reactions as well. Just a very strong player all around.
Oh, yeah, arguably A tier. As we are going to be getting into the second best of 2 of this series, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, representing Onsyde Gaming, Solar.
OSG. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for our very own CranKy Ducklings, it is the Patty of the Mac.
Yeah, the tip of Voltron himself. He is here, and personally, I am salivating at the thought of him coming out here with his 3-gate glaive adept, just because I want to see how it works against the Koreans.
Salivating, man. Calm down. Yeah, you got to keep all that saliva. You are unwell.
It's okay. I got my lovely tea, my lukewarm tea.
Wonderful. As meanwhile, we do have the unnatural natural being taken by Solar. He's gonna, stretch, just prepare himself for what's to come. Yeah. At least that's what he thinks.
For Protoss, Papi. Even if he isn't familiar with PattyMac, he should be familiar with NA Protoss in general. So you're gonna have to be careful. Gonna have to be very on top of his scouting because he doesn't want to get NA'd.
Yeah, 100%. And PattyMac, he does have some pretty sneaky builds. He's got the cap on as well. Very important.
Oh yeah. The cap, very important here, is going to keep your head safe and sound when you're indoors to make sure that the sun's rays don't attack you too hard.
Yeah, I would like to see him maybe for the next game putting on some sunglasses as well, but I mean that'll be okay for now. We'll let him get away with it this time.
He's playing against Solar.
True.
And
when your future's that bright, you gotta wear shades.
Exactly. We may even get some sunblock as well, just get some of that SPF 30.
Those cool kids in the club with the sunblock.
Yeah, look, hey, there's nothing sexier than, of course, taking care of your body and taking care of your skin, okay?
True. Skin health, very important. Very important.
Yes, exactly. That's our PSA for the day here in the chat. Take care of your skin.
True. Don't forget to moisturize, puppy.
Oh, yeah. Just moisturize all over.
Oh, no. Okay. Back to the game.
Oh, God.
And yeah,
you gave me an in, Bobby. You gave...
No. I'm closing that door. We are seeing that build you were referring to, a bit of that NA style. Yeah. Instead of seeing any tech going down, we're actually seeing a second gateway being hidden across, hidden up into the base. And yeah, there we go. That is the 3-gate opening.
There we go, 3 gates for those who are unfamiliar with PattyMac and unfamiliar with his PVZs and unfamiliar with how he just shut down Scarlet in DreamHack, it's all about going for this 3-gate glaive pressure, but we're not committing here. It's only 3 gateways, not even your typical standard 4 gates that we used to have, so we can save some of that gas and we can transition into something else.
Yeah, meanwhile, Solar just styling with the micro there, taking 1 hit on each of those lings and then bringing them back to safety. So just showing off his micro prowess there, as we do see PattyMac starting up that Twilight Council here.
Yeah, Twilight Council is going to be on the way. The gateways are finishing up as well. A couple of lanes are going to be moving out across the map here to try and catch some stray units. It looks like they can maybe even catch an Adept, but the second Adept is here with him. We will not get us around, or we shouldn't. Cool.
Yeah, those Adepts just going to be fainting a little bit there, trying to display that they're trying to take a third, but Solar, he is not convinced. He knows that there's something up. He's going to be throwing down that Roach Warren.
Oh, this is a little bit scary here. A very early Roach Warren. I don't even... you could argue that maybe it's a safety Roach Warren just because he's a little bit unawares about what's happening, but this will kind of open things up here for a bit of a Roach counter-attack timing.
Yeah, he definitely does have that counterattack timing, and that is something that's going to be a little bit scary for PattyMac because this is an opening that relies on keeping your opponent at home, keeping them guessing while you tech switch back at home. But we are going to be seeing that that shade being cancelled. Solar is going to be running away with his drones, only losing one, and a recall is forced.
I love this, by the way. What a chat. He just walked across the map and and he used the shade to feign Solar out, and he just walked in and scouted the tech. He's like, oh, I see a Roach Warren. Okay. So he's fully aware of the potential for roaches. He should be preparing back at home. He still is committing to glaives, and here come those roaches, by the way. I'm having a look at the drone count of Solar. Does he intend to continue to drone or just make roaches?
Yeah, it looks like we are just starting to pump roaches here as we see that third base going down for PattyMac. We'd probably like to see maybe some shield batteries going down as well, but it looks like he is going out for wave 2.
Yeah, and this is scary because, again, Solar hasn't droned at all. He's going for a very strong timing here with roaches, with lings. No upgrades, by the way. They are going to be vanilla, but as the Adepts move out, they will not be at home to defend against this ling run by. And also, the recall is on cooldown.
Yeah, we see PattyMac not really adapting this opener just yet. He's going to be going into those 2 Stargates. He's going to be getting the DT Shrine, and the wall is not a wall.
Yeah, exactly. We have a warp in back at home again. There is no recall available, so he has to commit. He goes all the way into the main base, but before that happens, 11 probes are already going down.
Yeah, a lot of probes going down here, and he will be committing to this shade as well. So Solar, reading that correctly, going back to mine. Unfortunately for PattyMac, he's going to be losing a lot of probes here.
Yeah, a lot of probes are going to be going down. He's not dealing equalizing damage across the map. Unfortunately, he will get a queen. He will get 4 drones, but this is not enough. GG gets called, and Solar takes the first game.
Yeah, a bit of frustration out of Dolan, PattyMac there. Unfortunately, that wall was not a wall, and that means those lings were getting in. So Solar getting a pretty easy 1-0 coming into this one, and we unfortunately were not able to see the full strategy of PattyMac there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, PattyMac, this build is vulnerable to that kind of aggression. I'm sure Q, again, was hoping that Solar was just going to be droning and just defending and just trying to establish another base and let PattyMac be the aggressor, but Solar kind of turned the game on its head there. And unfortunately, PattyMac, as you said, the wall was not a wall.
Yeah, the wall was not a wall. A little bit unfortunate there. He was doing so well there. It was such a good recall there just to save those Adepts. He was in a pretty good position there to maybe defend with the DTs as well, but yeah, unfortunately Solar with that killer instinct, getting straight in there with the lings and defending at home just with the roaches. Very well done there.
Very well done there by Solar, and now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Oh boy, PattyMac wasn't able to really kind of come to fruition on Tropical Sacrifice. Now I have to wonder, is he going to try that build again? And if he does, what map are we going to end up on?
We have seen time and time again when he gets to choose the map, he goes for Moondance, but we're going to be seeing Data C.
Data C, not a bad map to get into his style once again. But does he want to do it 2 games in a row against Solar? Is that really what he wants to kind of whip out here? I worry for him. I worry that he's going to have to play something a little bit more unorthodox, maybe even the hero style, which is standard, don't get me wrong, but not necessarily PattyMac's forte.
Yeah, PattyMac likes to do things a little bit different, likes to do things his way. I have to wonder if he has something specifically prepared for this map, maybe even something that looks like that style and goes into a 2-base blink all-in. That's something that he could maybe go for, maybe even going for a really aggressive Adept player with some Immortals. There's a few different options that he has here.
Yeah, he does have some options available to him. We'll see what he decides to go for, as spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, representing Onsyde Gaming OSG. It is Solar.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for the CranKy Ducklings, it is PattyMac.
Exactly, and again, I do believe in the tip of Voltron. I believe that he can take a game off of Solar. Game 1 was just a little bit unfortunate. You know, one little misstep, the wall's not a wall, Lings come in and just kill everything. Like, there's not much else to really gather from that game. You were talking about it, like, he was looking quite good leading up to the mid-game of game number 1. So just an unfortunate turn of events there.
Yeah, 100%. As we do see Solar, just going to be taking that unnatural. Natural is going to be splitting those two bases away from each other. So it does make the defense just that little bit harder when those first couple adepts come in. But apart from that, everything looking pretty standard here.
For a moment, I thought Solar was in a store and there was a customer coming in trying to get something from the shelf. I was like, what? I was like, what is he in the grocery store right now? But I do see his dream hack trophy back there. So yeah, he's in his room.
Yeah, someone's stealing it.
See, oh no, Solar! Turn around, Papi. There's someone behind you.
We've sent in a cranky spy to distract him during his game to steal his things.
Steal his trophies, mate. Steal them all. As he is unfazed and undeterred by the stranger in his room, it's all good. It's okay. I'm sure there is someone he knows and loves. Copium. As we're getting into game number 2 here, again, nothing too crazy so far. We're keeping an eye on PattyMac's production tab about whether or not he will throw down that second gateway.
Yeah, we are seeing everything coming out pretty standard from the two players. Not seeing anything too crazy aggressive from Solar this time so far. Nothing for like a pull first 12 pull. And I think especially on this map, considering how many ramps there are into each of the bases, we are going to be seeing the players go for something a little bit calmer.
I would hope so. I mean, we'll see how things do turn out here. So far, again, PattyMac just scouting across the map, confirming the base, confirming the drone count here for Solar, trying to keep that probe alive a little bit longer here just to be a nuisance as he does walk past those lovely logos. And again, if you want a lovely chair like what Solar's rocking, hey, check out TGI Friday.
TGIF. Meanwhile, for PattyMac, we did see him doing things his own way. Once again, he's going to be throwing down that gateway instead of any additional tech. So looks like he's comfortable with this opening, and he's going to go for it once again. It is going to be the 3-gate opening.
Yeah, he knows that he can make it work. He knows that he only had a little bit of a slip up there in game 1. And what is the likelihood of Solar throwing down a fast Roach Warren in game number 2? Not likely is what I say. So I do actually like this from PattyMac. We'll see if he can get away with it.
Yeah, he's going for that fast Twilight Council once again. Meanwhile, for Solar, hasn't really had any scouting to speak of just yet. The wall, once again, a wall for PattyMac. He's going to be getting that Stalker in there. Going to have to be very sure that he has that blocked up nicely this time.
Yeah, exactly. He has to make sure he is all tightened up here on his 2 bases. We do have a couple of Lings going across the map to just test that wall. Ooh, once again, Solar throwing down a fast Roach Warren.
Yeah, Solar just wants to play things very safe here. Hasn't seen any tech coming out from PattyMac, so he is just going to make sure that he isn't going to be surprised by anything too crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if PattyMac can get eyes on this again. We saw in game at number 1, the Roach Warren was thrown down at the 3rd base, and PattyMac was able to just waltz on in and actually get a scout off on it. Here in game 2, the Roach Warren is in the main instead, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to scout.
Yeah, and we are seeing a pretty early 3rd going down from PattyMac. I am a little bit worried. He has ventured out with that Stalker once again, so hopefully he does realize that, does plug up that hole in the wall once again, because Solar is starting up quite a few Lings here.
Yeah, there we go. Once again, Lings and Roaches on the way for Solar. He's going to have plenty to deal with this initial Adept push. Lings do get spotted here. PattyMac is going to waltz in towards that 3rd base to try and deal some damage. Doesn't commit to the Shade, and will be forced to recall.
Yeah, seeing a very similar game to last time. Everything playing out almost the same way. So it is going to be interesting to see how the adjustment of plugging out that hole in the wall will change things.
Yeah, and also, will PattyMac move out once again with these Adepts? So here we go. We do have 2 Stargates being thrown down. This is for PattyMac to transition into double Phoenix, which does kind of pair well with a Dark Shrine, but there is no Dark Shrine with this. And Solar, he's going to be pushing out with Roaches, and Phoenixes are not what you want against that.
Yeah, the Dark Shrine isn't notably missing there. It does go down just a little bit later, and there we go. The wall is a wall. So we are going to see what PattyMac was looking to do in that last game.
Yeah, we have a couple of warped in Adepts here to deal with this run, but at the same time, PattyMac wants to get across the map again. He doesn't have a recall available, so he has to commit with these Adepts.
Ooh. Yeah, and these Adepts, they are getting absolutely sandwiched by the units of Solar. They are going to be able to take down a few drones. They are going to be shading out as well, but things not really going PattyMac's way just yet.
Yeah, and once again, Solar is not droning. He's going for a massive Ling Roach push right now. He scouts everything. He scouts the Phoenixes, and he also scouts the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, wonderfully timed Overlord there by Solar, showing his experience in the matchup. He gets a full scout of everything that's going on, and he knows that PattyMac is teching. He knows that if he sends an attack across the map right now and gets an Overseer in there to support it, it's going to be very hard for PattyMac to hold.
There's nothing here, mate. There's a handful of units. The Phoenixes come out, but again, they can only pick up one Roach at a time. It is not going to be enough, especially with these Lings flooding on in, and I do wonder if Solar did prepare here for PattyMac, because this Roach Ling timing is just so strong against PattyMac's build.
Yeah, I have to agree. It does seem like Solar did have somewhat of an idea. He forces out the battery overcharge at the natural now, and that's going to be his signal to go back to the third as the DTs start to chip away at these Roaches.
Yeah, the DTs will eventually clean all of this up, but the third base is going to go down, knocking PattyMac down to only 2 bases. What's important is that, again, the economy for Solar isn't very impressive at all, so economically, PattyMac is still okay.
Yeah, that's right. Solar really has delayed his production quite a lot. So despite losing that third base, we do see that they are equal on workers, but Solar with a pretty significant advantage with the units. With all those Lings as well, he's just going to make it so hard for PattyMac to get anything done here. He's going to make it so hard for him to have any map presence at all.
Exactly. Solar, despite not having a detection, he doesn't have any fear. Never mind, he actually doesn't try to go for the cancel on the third base. Is going to respect those DTs, so PattyMac will be able to get it up and running here. And Solar is transitioning into Roach Hydra.
Yeah, I like these Hydras as well, just to deal with a few extra Phoenix as well, as get a bit of extra DPS on his army. So Solar still pretty significantly ahead on supply, and PattyMac, he realizes what kind of a situation he is in. He's going to double expand here.
Yeah, he needs to double expand. He needs at least one of these next sides to get up and running. Even if one of them gets canceled, that will be worth it as long as the other gets up. Meanwhile, he does get eyes on all of those Lings. He's fully aware that Solar is getting ready for another big push. And PattyMac responds here with a Robo and with Blink.
Yeah, we see that Blink being chronoed out. We see that +1 on the way as well as a few extra Phoenix. So PattyMac going to be sharking around, trying to see if he can get any extra damage. But with one of those Phoenix going down already, as that push for Solar is coming across the map. Man, Solar is being relentless with the aggression here. It's going to be so hard for PattyMac to hold.
Yeah, exactly. Losing one Phoenix for one Hydra is not really ideal whatsoever. We have Archons on the way, but they're not ready yet. We do have a shield battery. We do have overcharge. Maybe with this, PattyMac can hold. Ooh.
Yeah, as we do see those lists coming in on the Hydras, but there is just not enough here for PattyMac. Solar getting the quick 2-0.
GG. We also get a bit of a close-up on that convenience store. It's all good. Solar does take the 2-0 there over PattyMac. PattyMac trying to go for his signature build 2 times here against Solar. Both times Solar going for as a reaction, going for a very low drone count, very committed Ling Roach push.
Yeah, that was some brilliant killer instinct coming out from Solar. He just attacked non-stop. Didn't give PattyMac any room to breathe with his tech switches. Didn't want to be caught off guard by anything sneaky there. Played a very safe and then very aggressive play just to be completely dominating in that series. And that means we are down to our last set.
We are down to our last set. I was hoping that PattyMac could make this style work here, but again, I want to believe that Solar came prepared for this kind of build. I'm sure he was watching PattyMac versus Scarlet. So yeah, very nice preparation. I will go as far as to say here for Solar. But here comes the ace player for the Ducklings. Here comes Vindicta.
Yeah, here he is, and this is our chance to get a couple maps on the board, especially against a team like Onsyde Gaming, a team that are favorites to be there in the grand finals, to be contenders to take down the whole World Team League. If we can take a few maps here, that is really going to send a signal to the rest of the teams that we are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, exactly. We'll see if he can do that for us. We have already taken a couple of maps here already in World Team League in that first round, but here in round 2, can we do more than that? Can we take a 2-0? Can we take a best of 2? Oh boy, we'll see. In Vindicta, I believe, puppy. I believe.
Yeah, I believe as well. Vindicta doing so well lately, being such a force for the CranKy Ducklings in that Code A, having a pretty incredible record. I think at one point he was 24-3 or something like that, just absolutely carrying.
Yeah, exactly. He did so well there in those qualifiers and in Code A. Can he translate that into Code S? As I see Vindicta in the chat or in the Twitch chat, hopefully he. The admins are messaging me. They're looking for Migs, Papi. They're looking for you. They're looking for you.
Papi, you got a game to play. Yeah.
Aye. All right, here we go. Meanwhile, shout out to all the people tuning in as well. I see Demi, I see Thorn, I see Smile. The boys are coming out in force here, and they need your help. Vindicta needs your support here. He needs your energy. Give it up. As again, he's going up against the best Zerg player in all of Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Yeah, absolutely. Rex is a player that we've been seeing quite a bit of in these Taiwan-Hong Kong qualifiers as well, that we were casting earlier on a couple weeks ago. Very, very strong player. And it'll be exciting to see how he matches up against Vindicta. I have to say as well, stylistically, Rex is a player that is a little bit more macro-focused, a little bit more of a traditional Zerg player in that way, and that does mean that we are going to be able to see the full macro game of Vindicta.
That's what I want, mate. That's how I want to end it all. I want to go all in, Papi. Just stop myself there. But yeah, I want to see everything that Vindicta has to offer in this matchup. Not just me. I want him to show the world.
Yes, we want to show everyone our special player.
Oh, exactly. And
How
speaking of, here we go. Just looking at some of our players here. Rex, the Onsyde Gaming Zerg player, coming out with apparently solid defense mindset. Macro, pretty well-rounded, other than the micro and offense.
Yeah, so it looks like they are really favoring his defense there. But meanwhile here, we have Vindicta. What is that? 6 in micro? Get out of here.
Get out of here, Papi. Just like Juanito, Migs is all about the micro. He's all about the macro. I do appreciate that they gave his macro an 8 at least, because, mate, if you saw those ZVTs and the qualifiers, they were crazy.
Yeah, 100%. He showed his skill in the macro games, in those more drawn-out games. Does look like they have judged these players to be very close in total score, and we are going to be having our first game here on Stargazers. So this is a map where, as we said, there is potential for shenanigans, but it also means that the Terran is quite comfortable to get up a safe 3 bases.
Oh, exactly. He is quite comfortable. The other thing that I kind of want to bring up as well is that Migs Vindicta is in DreamHack. He is in the NA playoffs, but it is kind of rampant with Protoss players. I think we would both agree. So because of that, he doesn't have to hold back as much here. Of course, you know, Scarlet is still in that bracket, don't get me wrong, but without so many Zergs, he can maybe show off a little bit more in World Team League.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vindicta, he is a player that I think a lot of his strengths favor the TVZ matchup. He's very strong at defending, very strong with multitask as well, with that harassment especially. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing that coming out on Stargazers. If he can get into his comfort zone, he's going to be able to get a lot of multi-prong harassment going on across the map.
Exactly. We'll see how comfortable he can get here. I'm curious to see what he's kind of flaunting on his player cam as well. Are we getting the Smudge Vindicta, or are we getting the Godge Vindicta? That's what I want to see.
Man, I think that hood has got to be up for the power.
We need to smudge on stream, Papi. We'll see as the players are getting ready. Stargaze is another one of those unusual maps. I have to favor Terran a little bit more here, and I'm sure Rex is aware of that. So I feel like it's going to be more on the Zerg player to do something a little bit different on Stargazers.
Are you calling it a Terran map?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Papi. What do you mean, Papi?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Terran map. You can take a third. It doesn't. You can't harass it. You get it for free, Papi. For free.
Disgusting. Meanwhile, for Zergs, a lot of the time on this map, we have seen a lot of people favoring some meter-based play. Can be quite nice to have the meters bouncing around between those first 4 bases. I know Rex is a player that does have some skills with the meters as well, so wouldn't be surprised to see him going down that road.
Yeah, exactly. And I pose a question to you, Asher. Do you not think this is a Terran map?
I think it's even.
You think it's even?
Yeah, there's a gold base.
Oh man, you're crazy.
Right, there's a gold base. It's very open through the center as well, so it does tend to lend itself to a split map situation. I do like that for Vindicta because he does prefer that kind of game, but it can still be kind of difficult to contest that gold base in the middle, as that is the base that doesn't really belong to either team.
Yeah, we'll see if the game does go on that long and the goal base actually does come into play. I wouldn't be opposed to a longer macro drawn out game. I mean, it's already almost 2 a.m. here. Why not just keep going?
Yeah, you don't need to sleep. You're fine, puppy.
I moved my head a little bit too quick earlier, and my God, I was,
And down we go.
it was not a good idea, Papi. It was not a good idea.
It's alright, it'll be over soon. Vindicta definitely doesn't turtle.
He doesn't?
He absolutely does.
Vindicta, please, Miguelito, don't do it, Papi, don't do it. I imagine, the players are just preparing themselves. I'm pretty sure he is awake. I'm pretty sure he is there. Hopefully, the delays aren't anything too serious, and the players are all with us.
Yes, as here we go, learning into this map. And in the top right-hand corner, here he is, playing for Onsyde Gaming. It is Rex.
Spawning in the the top left-hand corner of Stargazers, we have the American Terran. He is red, representing the CranKy Ducklings, Vindicta.
As we just get a few moments to ourselves as this one starts up. So, what do you think? Chew it?
2-0? Oh my God. Obviously. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, look, the Ducklings have been struggling a little bit here today, but Vindicta is now out in full form. He is firm. He is Sween? Is that what you say?
No. I would never say that.
He's faffing?
He's faffing. He is indeed. He is got all of his faffing out of the way.
Exactly.
And he's ready for this one. Doesn't have the hood up, so he's not smudging. He's feeling confident. He's feeling strong and powerful for this one.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we'll keep an eye on things, and depending on how game one goes, he may whip out the jacket, the hoodie for game number 2, just so he can unleash his full potential there with that hood.
True. As we see, very standard openings coming out from both players. Going to be looking to see whether Vindicta opts to take that back base here, or is this going to be taking that front base and opting to take the back base as third. We do have a lot of potential here for some drop play as well. That's something that can be very strong on this map.
Oh yeah, there's so many just different aspects of this map that you can make use of, whether it's the drops, whether it's the safer third base, whether it's the gold later on as well, and that split map scenario. I mean, Vindicta, kind of similar to Juanito in a way, like he does have a lot of builds available to him. There have been times where he's maybe regretted doing something a little bit too fancy, and instead sometimes he should rely on his like more standard play. But does he want a 90-minute game?
Yeah, that is the question here, as we do see him going up into that factory, not taking that second gas just yet. So, there it goes. He is throwing down that second gas, and not going to be a 3cc, going for something a little bit more aggressive here.
Yeah, exactly. Going to be going for a little bit more of a Juan, as the Reaper right now just dancing here with the Lings, trying to trade as best he can. Again, just flexing his micro and hoping to get a couple of extra points there on that Hexagon as the Queen comes out, and we'll show it away for now.
Yeah, just doing that little dance there, back and forth with that Reaper. So with that second gas coming down for Vindicta here. As he loses that a Reaper there. I do have to wonder if he's going for something like a Hellbat build, or maybe a Hellbat Marauder build, something that we have been seeing a little bit on this map.
Well, another thing that's kind of interesting, I don't know if you noticed, but Rex doesn't have a third base. He didn't send a drone out to get it. He did go for more queens instead, and he even delayed his creep at the natural to go for a faster inject. Maybe he was respecting the power of Vindicta's Reaper. Maybe he's familiar with the Reaper control and didn't even want to like contest that. But no, there we go. He is intentionally staying on 2 bases for that lair.
Wow, another fast lair. So we did refer to earlier how this map can be a good map for muters. It's possible that we are going to be seeing a 2-base muter out here, as Vindicta actually starting up a Banshee here.
Yeah, 1-1-1 into Banshee right now. Vindicta, he's just going to skirt around. And finally, when he gets eyes on that third base and recognize how late it is, again, this is a little bit odd. This is a little bit out of the norm. Why is it so late? What did you get instead of that earlier third?
Yes, we do see a fast stim coming out from Vindicta, so does get that cloak as well. I was wondering if he was going to end up getting that, possibly just forgetting that for a moment there. And this is a little bit unfortunate for him there, that he is actually coming up across a 2-base muter. This build doesn't really fare too well against that.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike something, say, 2-on-1, you're not going to have a massive amount of Marines to work with to try and hunt down and deal with those mules like we saw earlier today. But more importantly, I just worry here. I hope that Vindicta is actually able to get a scout of this.
Yeah, it does look like he does actually know what's going on here. He cancels that cloak, only makes it the one Banshee, realizing that with a build like this, it's really important, especially for a 2cc, that you get some damage done with your units, and he's not really going to be able to get damage done with Banshees against a fast 2-base muter.
Exactly. So a great adaptation here from Vindicta, not overcommitting into things that don't quite shoot up. He still has that Banshee and these Hellions, and he can still try and deal some damage. He's poking, prodding, delaying the creep as best he can, but he hasn't really been able to get any major economic damage yet.
Yeah, that's right. And we just see that quick little switch. So he's going to be getting some fast tanks here. Does have the potential here for a pretty fast tank push if he would like to. Maybe trying to catch Rex with a few less Lings and Banes than usual with all that investment into the muters.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if he can pull that off. What's interesting is that Rex isn't being too greedy. He is still investing into Baneling's speed. There are some Zerg players that try and just defend with Lings and Queens and just preserve as much of their gas as possible for nothing but mutas. So Rex is going to be opting to go for a safer route.
Yeah, that's right. Rex is going to be playing things a little bit safer, making sure he gets that Bane speed up nice and early. Definitely respecting Vindicta here in this matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The first wave of mutas are on the way. Vindicta doing a great job at just shaving off as many of these creep trimmers as possible. He still hasn't quite had eyes on those mutas yet, and I don't believe he has any missile turrets, but with his units being active on the map, he should come across them as they are coming out.
Yeah, for sure. And especially seeing these extra gases at the third base, that really can only be one thing, and that is a fast muter here.
Yeah, unless you're up against me and Micah going for like fast hydras or something crazy like that. But here we go. The mutas, they do reveal themselves. They are going to force a little bit of lost mine time here at the third base. A couple of SCVs are going to go down.
Yeah, good damage here for Rex and Vindicta. He is in crisis management mode now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his Hellions are still out across the map. It looks like he's not responding to his natural base with his Marines. He's pushing out instead.
Yeah, so this is one of those options, as we referred to earlier against mutas, that you can just kind of go for it. You can just send it across the map, hoping that they did go a little short on units. And this is a very strong push coming out from Vindicta with these early 2 tanks.
Yeah, we have 3 Banelings on the way. Bear that in mind. They're about to finish up. Baneling's speed is complete as well. But how good are the tank shots going to be as Rex is getting ready for a bit of a surround?
Yeah, and we have 3 tanks here ready to go. It's going to be very important for Vindicta that he tries to keep these Marines safe, tries to keep this Marine count up so that the mutas can't clean up the tanks.
Exactly, he has to be so careful with these Marines. Speaking of, more Marines are coming across the map. He's starting to leapfrog his tanks forward ever more. A lot of tank shots going off on these queens. At the same time, the reinforcements are getting caught out by the mutas.
Yeah, nice move from Rex there, trying to cut off those reinforcements, but it looks like Vindicta, he's going to go for it now. He's going to start to fight with these queens, and already taking out almost all of the queens while those Banes come back for a run-by on the reinforcements.
Yeah, now I worry, because do we have enough Marines here to protect these tanks? It looks like the reinforcements have all been cleaned up, and the muta cloud is coming.
Yeah, the mutas are here, and that is going to be the signal for Rex to go. He's going to jump on top of these units right away, and Vindicta, he gets out of there, but the supply, it is not looking good here.
Yeah, exactly. This was a big push, a big investment. He needed more than just killing these queens. Oh, it looks like the drop is going to go down as well. Rex just maintaining control of the middle of the map, going across, and even gets another tank.
Yeah, that 2-2 coming in hot, but that tank cleanup was just too good for Rex, and he's going to win this one.
GG. And I have to wonder when it was that Vindicta was able to get an eye on whether he was going up against mutas or not. It was a bit of a shame that before any kind of major tell, he was already committed to, producing these Hellions, producing these Banshees that never really got to do anything.
Yeah, I did like what Vindicta went for there, to go for the more aggressive play, to try to jump on Rex being maybe a little bit greedy, lacking a little bit with the Lings and Banes, but that was very well done by Rex just to cut off the reinforcements, to cut off any of the extra supply to that push, and then just decisively destroy it with the Mutas.
Yeah, I think we can both agree that if those marine reinforcements actually made it to the tanks, then Vindicta may have just been able to break Rex then and there. You know, it would have been insane. The tank position would not have been broken by those mutas. But alas, he did run into Lings and even Banelings again. Rex kind of smartly prioritizing his Baneling speed even before the Spire finished, even before the mutas, recognizing how much danger he would have been in.
Alas, indeed, but we still have one map left, and we would really love to get this one on the board for the CranKy Ducklings, as it is, in fact, Vindicta's map choice here.
It is going to be his map choice, but we are also going to be going over to the land of Korea. Game 1 was on North America, so, you know, it looks like Rex is going to have a little bit of ping advantage in comparison, but that shouldn't really deter Vindicta too much here. I'm really looking forward to see what map he chooses.
Yeah, Vindicta, of course, has been practicing on the Korea server, so should be pretty used to how that feels. And he does have a few options when it comes to the maps. Might want to be going for something a little bit of a smaller map, maybe an inside and out, somewhere where you can split the map more effectively on a much lower base count. And also one with the short rush distance, so that you can get some more damage with those initial push.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see kind of how the rush distance is going to come into play, depending on the map that gets chosen. Oh boy, again, the Ducklings are up against the wall right now. Vindicta needs to take this game to at least put a point on the board.
Yeah, and as much as it is a little bit sad that that first game went so quick, it does mean that we're a little bit closer to you getting to rest.
Oh my god, I can't wait to embrace my bed behind me after this game. But passion is keeping me alive. It's keeping me awake. It's keeping me woke. It's keeping me here.
Keeping you woke. As we do indeed see inside and out. And yeah, that is a map that is a little bit of a shorter map, a little bit of a shorter rush distance. Does give a bit more potential for the Terran here.
Yeah, it does kind of give a lot of potential here to the Terran player, a much shorter rush distance compared to Stargazers. We shouldn't be seeing any kind of weird 2-base muta play either, because this map just doesn't really lend to that anywhere near as well as Stargazers. So everything looking pretty good here for Vindicta, at least when it comes to that map choice.
Yeah, 100%. So, what do you think we're going to see? We're going to see maybe a fast Hellbat push, maybe something a bit more macro. We have seen that Vindicta, you know, when he does stick to his guns, he is a lot more comfortable in these more drawn-out macro games.
Yeah, we'll see kind of where this all leads us. As in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, representing Onsyde Gaming, OSG, it is Rex.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the star player for the CranKy Ducklings, it is Vindicta.
The real Starduck.
My real son.
I never had. What do you mean? He's my firstborn. What are you talking about? There was no one before him.
There was none before. There will be none after.
But yes, he is here on his map of choice. I'm sure feeling a little bit more comfortable, and hopefully his mental isn't too shaken after that last game. It's not every day, it's not every game that you go up against, you know, 2-base muta.
Yeah, and it's not every day that you go up against Onsyde Gaming, so very nice opportunity as well for Vindicta just to showcase what he can do here, hopefully getting a map on the board for the CranKy Ducklings.
Yeah, let's go. This is his chance. This is his opportunity. Will he make it happen, or will it slip?
Or will he just let it slip? Mom spaghetti.
Arms are heavy, knees weak. It's vomit on his sweater already. Mom, where's the hoodie, puppy? Where's the hoodie?
Hoodie's on his head already. Yeah.
Oh my god, I need to start a rap album with Meeks.
You definitely don't need to do that at all. As we do see that SCB heading out across the map, Vindicta just going to make sure that everything is normal. All the Zerg buildings are made of Zerg stuff.
Despacito.
We're losing him.
It's okay. I'm here. It's okay. What happened? Well, just I whacked out for a minute there.
It's alright, puppy. Just Zerg stuff.
Yeah. We have a standard opener hash gas pool coming out from Rex. We're going to keep an eye on that third base timing. I'm sure Vindicta will as well, as he does have his SCV across the map, and his Reaper is looking to be a little bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, and meanwhile, very nice passing there. A little bit cheeky.
Wow.
He's going to catch this drone taking a rather unusual path here. So I have to wonder if he did a bit of scouting of Rex here to be able to catch that one out.
It looks like, unfortunately, a little bit too late to delay it once again, but regardless, the delay is good indeed. Gets a kill on that drone. Strategy. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, very nice. I have to wonder if he was looking at some VODs of Rex to work that one out. But meanwhile, back at home, we are seeing a 2-on-1. And one thing that I do want to point out, this is a strategy that we saw a lot when 2K Atmospheres was in the pool. And something that we saw specific to this strategy was blocking the linear base. Because that means that you can set up this double drop when it comes in to start attacking the third and then load up and go into the main, with the main and the third so close to each other. So I think he specifically wanted Rex to take this base for his 2-on-1.
Exactly. There's a reason why Rex was going for that linear base. He's also, I'm sure, aware of the downsides of taking the triangular third. So we'll see if Vindicta can make full use of that. Meanwhile, Rex still hasn't gone into the main base. He still hasn't scouted the opener yet. Still a little bit in the dark, as it looks like the Overlord is going to be edging in a little bit closer.
Yeah, 100% still in the dark. Going for a bit more of a standard opening himself, not going for any crazy 2-base muta opening, which is going to be in his favor against a 2-on-1. Meanwhile, for Vindicta, we just see him powering along, trying to get a nice, crisp double drop timing here.
Yeah, exactly. Very crisp, very firm coming out from Vindicta. We'll see if Rex can be prepared to take this double drop. As so far, the Overlord is dipping on in. It looks like it's going to get some eyes on the production here of Vindicta. Should be preparing himself back at home. Just droning up a little bit more, and then soon we should see that Ling production.
Yeah, we're going to want to see him droning up to around 50 if he doesn't know what's going on. Maybe some double upgrades as well, just to get that carapace, especially to deal with the Ling, to deal with the Marines, and getting a few Lings going as well. So we do see a few extra Lings just for safety being started up now, and actually a lair. So I don't think he knows what's coming his way at all.
Yeah, very fast lair here. This is not time for a 2-1-1, by the way, so a greedy move. We have a Baleen Nest as well. No Evo Chambers to make use of his armor upgrades, of his carapace upgrades. And Rex, at least he is making 22 Lings.
Yeah, so Vindicta is going to be showing the double drop here just to deal with those extra Lings at the front. That is going to delay things slightly, using up that boost, but he is still going to get across the map at a pretty reasonable time. We are going to see him heading over to that third just to get a little bit of harassment done before he bounces up into the main. And rather importantly, he does have this third medevac started up as well. This is a detail we recently saw added to this build, something that Maru has pioneered. This third medevac does make this hit significantly harder.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be seeing that many more Marines and that many more medevacs pushing out across the map. So far, Vindicta doesn't commit. He just cleans up a little bit of creep here at that triangular third base. You see the Queens responding in kind, trying to make sure that they do stay back. The creep tumors do finish up, and Vindicta has the option to go into the main.
Yeah, we do see that extra medevac being lifted up. We are going to be pairing all of those three up, and we are going to be shooting straight into the main. If Rex is slow to react, this is going to be a problem, but that's a very well-placed spore there. Yeah,
the spore does fend off the triple drop for the time being, so Rex doesn't have to be worried too much about a commitment into the main base. He does keep his queens here at the third instead. We do have one Widowmine, bear that in mind, so how good is that shot going to be? It's going to be crucial here for Vindicta to break him, to break the defenses.
Yeah, it does look like Rex is aware, just going to be sending forward a small amount of Lings. Nice unburrow there from Vindicta, not going to be taking the friendly fire that Rex was looking for. That does mean that he gets to trade quite well with these Lings.
Yeah, that was a brutal move command there for all of those Lings. The Banelings were stuck behind the Queens, and so many Lings already going down, and Vindicta keeps on going, but he will lose the medevac.
Yeah, losing one of those medevacs, but beautiful sniping there on those Banelings, showing off his micro here. His 9-score micro, hopefully soon.
There's a reason why he is the fourth race, Poppy. There's a reason why people look to him as the pioneer of Terran in StarCraft. Oh boy, as he is going to be able to rotate around. Hasn't dealt any economic damage, didn't quite break through, but he just traded incredibly efficiently.
Yeah, very nice trades there, preserving almost all of these Marines, as we do see him starting to land his third, as well as getting this armory up, getting those upgrades on the way. Nicely timed Ling run by here by Rex, though.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna force these reinforcements back home. At the same time, Rex wants to drive on top of that army, but Migs is a little bit too quick. He was paying attention. He doesn't get caught out in the middle of the map, and he does deflect that run by.
Yeah, unfortunately here we do see a small mistake coming out from Vindicta. It does look like he forgot to start his +1 armor, if he does in fact have 2 eBays here. So just a little mishap there. I'm sure he'll notice when he goes to start his 2-2, but not the end of the world there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he will be able to make up for that bit of a mistake. At the same time, we have a scan into the main base again. Vindicta just trying to make sure that his opponent isn't trying to tech up into something like Mutas, into something like Hydras. Meanwhile, another massive Widowmine shot going off.
Yeah, this is something that Vindicta does so well, just spreading out these Widow Mines for a little bit of extra map vision, just getting value constantly all throughout the game, and we are seeing that he is just going to keep on pumping those Widow Mines as he does start up the +2.
Yeah, at the same time, Rex is taking up all the way into an infestation pit, so he's skipping Hydras, he's skipping Mutas, he wants to go straight Ling, Bane, I imagine, maybe even Ultra, or just going into that for Adrenal and Vipers.
Yeah, 100%. As we do see him spreading these mines out on the map, that is going to afford him a lot of map control, a lot of vision over the map as he does start to clean up these creep tumors as well. And this is something that's very nice about the 2-on-1 opening, because you have a little bit of a higher marine count, a little bit of faster medevacs. It does mean that you have some nice map presence to keep on top of this creep spread.
Yeah, exactly. And even when it comes to these run-bys, because Vindicta is so active, he's going to be able to deter them as well. Widowmine does burrow, and it looks like the shot's going to go up. Ooh.
Yeah, beautifully done there. That's something that Vindicta, again, so good at doing, is retargeting those mines. So he does manage to take out all of those banelings there. So some nice multitasking coming out there.
Very nice indeed. At the same time, the main army is going to come on forward as well. Widowmine shots going off on the banelings once again. A little bit of friendly fire there by that second Widowmine, but regardless, still a good trade for Vindicta.
Yeah, a little bit of friendly fire indeed, but we do see that Rex here, he stopped on quite a low drone count, just pumping Ling Bane on 70 drones. Meanwhile, for Vindicta, he is taking a nice supply lead here on the 3 bases. He's going to be powering into that 4th as well, and I think he finds himself in a very comfortable position heading into this mid to late game.
Yeah, there's kind of a big window here where Rex is trying to tech up. He did throw down a Hydra Den when he started the infestation bit. We have a Hive on the way and a Lurker Den, but with Lair Tech Lurkers, like, they're not really ideal. He's not ready to transition into that. So until that time comes, Vindicta will have a little bit more free reign, a little bit more pushing power.
Yeah, 100%. And this is what we were referring to before. Vindicta, he is getting into his comfort zone here.
Oh, he really is. Meanwhile, the Lings barely managed to avoid that Widowmine in the middle of the map. Another Widowmine shot is going to be going off here. More Widowmines being rotated down here, but we do see a cancel, or was that a kill on that CC? Oh.
Yeah, Rex just going to be a little bit of a nuisance with his units here. He's going to be causing a little bit of trouble here in the natural, but Vindicta just manages to get enough Marines out from his production here to deal with that. Rex going to run away with the last of these Lings here. As Vindicta, he's really starting to get into his comfort zone, starting to make things happen all across the map, starting to show off that multitask and that raw speed that he does have.
Yeah, the power spike is coming soon, though, for Rex, as we do have the first wave of Hydras on the way. 6 Hydras. I'm sure they're going to be morphed immediately into Lurkers to try and deny these kind of pushes. At the same time, another Ling run by once again denies the 4th base.
Yeah, we do see that 4th being denied once again. Nice unburrow, reburrow micro coming out from Vindicta there. Good drags as well coming out from Rex. And Vindicta, he is going to have to give up this 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like another Widowmine shot is going to go off once again on the Bailing. So Vindicta, he's going to be forced to lose some mining time here and forced to turn around, but he doesn't take too much damage.
Yeah, he has been trading very well here. Rex has been relentless, but we do see from Vindicta, he is starting to send out these Liberators. There are, however, some Lurkers being started up, and it doesn't look like Vindicta has any idea of what's coming his way.
Exactly. Here is that shift in tech that we were talking about. Rex finally has his Hive. He's working on Groove Spines, working on Lurker speed. Liberators do come across the Lurkers, and it looks like Vindicta has spotted them. Oh, Rex sighing!
Yeah, great scout there. He's going to be able to catch out these Lurkers on the way. That does mean he can zone them out here with those Liberators, and he's going to be able to get a little bit of a push going on the right side of the map, recognizing that the Lurkers, there aren't going to be enough of them to cover both sides of the map here.
Yeah, there are only, what, 4 to 6 Lurkers available here for Rex, and they have been spotted at the same time. There's the target fire. The Lurkers are going down!
Wow, fantastic multitasking by Vindicta, just stretching the attention of Rex to both sides there. And we can see why he is such a fast player and what that can do for him in the TVZ matchup as he starts to send out this Liberator harass as well. He's just everywhere right now.
And there's a reason why it should be 10 in micro, at least 10, Bappy, as it looks like the top left-hand base is going to go down. At the same time, we have a triple drop going in towards that main base, quadruple drop even. Looks like, Vindicta isn't going to commit. He's going to pull back, but at the same time, he still did get that hatchery.
Yeah, this is some stellar multitask coming out from Vindicta. He is attacking in 2 different places at once while defending back at home. He is just absolutely all over Rex here in this game.
Yeah, and what's important is that he did reset that lurker count. So again, that power spike that we were talking about for Rex is now gone. He's trying to rebuild his Hydras. He's trying to rebuild or trying to build and get into some of these Vipers. But again, he missed his timing.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a sneaky move there by Rex, trying to catch Vindicta a little bit off guard with an early 5 lurker timing. But those lurkers, they were completely cleaned up. And Vindicta, he's just going to be pushing ahead now.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing to stop him. We have a couple of banelings rolling on forward again. No lurkers here to defend, trading incredibly well. At the same time, another force is on the left-hand side, threatening that fourth.
Yeah, that's right. With Rex committing so much gas into these Hydras, committing so much gas into that lurker tech as well, he is really short on the banelings here, as we do see a few of those connect in the top left-hand corner. But there is headway being made on the right here as Vindicta pushes in.
Yeah, and finally Vindicta has his 4th base up and running. He was trying to get it up so many times. Rex did force a cancel twice on that, but finally it is up. Meanwhile, we have 5 more lurkers on the way. Adaptive talents as well. Rex, he can hold, but damage has been done. And again, he's still up against the wall.
Yeah, exactly. I want to point out as well that he hasn't been allowed to take a 5th base. With Vindicta denying that 5th, he's been right on top of Rex this whole time, and Rex still just sitting on 4 bases. He's starting to find himself in a relatively all-in position.
Yeah, exactly. But all in is still something that he can work with. Again, that lurker count is getting higher. He has both hive upgrades for his lurkers as well. So they're going to be quite terrifying at the same time. Oh, Widowmine shots go off, cleaning up all these lings. My God.
Yeah, fantastic Widowmine shots, and more importantly, those Widowmines, they do offer a little bit of scouting. They are going to be able to see where those lurkers are. As we just had a lib getting started, we see the snipes coming out from the Ghost, and Vindicta, he wants to stay out on the map. He is using this Widowmine style with the Liberators just to keep that pressure going.
Yeah, and once again, I believe, there we go, 3 lurkers did just go down. He's down to only 2 lurkers remaining. He's trying to morph in a couple more, but he just hasn't really had to, he's never had a fight with his own lurkers. He just hasn't been able to pull it off.
Yeah, we see this one medevac being split off for Vindicta, knowing that there's going to be a lot of pressure happening on the right side for Rex, and he's going to have to commit so many forces here to defend it. He's just going to split the attention. He's just going to try to put on a little bit of eco damage just to cement his position in this game.
Yeah, exactly. 3-3 on the way here for Vindicta. He's got his Ghost. He's got Lib range on the way as well. We have that drop towards the top left. Rex trying desperately to expand and take a 5th base. It looks like with his Lingman, he will be able to get that hatchery completed. And ooh, Rex wants to counterattack. He's going for a Nidus.
Yeah, going for a Nidus here definitely wants to be keeping on top of what's happening as that Nidus starts to go up in the main. Meanwhile, for Vindicta, we do see a Ghost being sent out to start dropping that nuke as he sends home 2 lots of medevacs to try to deal with this Nidus.
There we go, Vindicta. He's all over the minimap. He does spot that Nidus. It's not going to finish up. At the same time, we have a bit of a nuke here towards that left-hand base, but it looks like it will not complete.
Yeah, and these lurkers, there's a lot of them, and they are getting on top of the production here.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like they may even deny Lib range as well. Vindicta is going to make a choice. Is he going to turn around and try and deal with his lurkers, or is he going to commit here to the push?
Yeah, he's going to send it, but there's enough lings here to deal with it. There's going to have to be some big mine shots here as the Ghosts are being sent back. They are going to deal with the lurkers here. This is something that we have been seeing quite a bit in the TVZ. This was a very favored move to go for the lurkers in the main with the Nidus, but it's something that's been figured out a little bit by Terrans. They just have to send home those Ghosts, and suddenly that lurker count has been reset.
That Nidus play was not worth it for Rex. What did he accomplish? He forced Vindicta to turn around, so he got a little bit of breathing room. He did get a cancel on Lib range, and that is it at the cost of, what was that, 8 to 9 lurkers?
Sometimes I feel like it's a bit of a sunk cost fallacy thing there, where because they commit so much to their position and it's meant to be such a good position, sometimes the Zerg players are overcommitting a little bit and throwing away their lurkers for such little value.
And throwing away lurkers is what's been happening this entire game here for Rex. More Widowmine shots, getting juicy connections here on the lings. Not quite on the banelings, but regardless, getting that value. Rex trying to reset trying to rebuild his lurker count.
Yeah, these Widowmine shots everywhere. They are so annoying to deal with. Vindicta being such a nuisance there and being able to keep constant track on the unit movement of Rex here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have Nidus on the right-hand side to try and deny the fresh base of Vindicta. He does get eyes on it. His army is going to rotate around, and hopefully no lurkers come out.
Yeah, that's right. And this is a pretty scary army that Vindicta's starting to put together. That is a lot of Liberators and Ghosts. This is a very powerful Terran army.
This is a very anti-lurker army right now, and Rex, I'm sure he would love to try and transition out of this and try and transition into something like Broodlords, into something less committed on the ground, but he just didn't really have the economy for it earlier because he was stuck on 4 bases for so long.
Yeah, and we are seeing Vindicta having established so many of his bases here. He's going to be comfortable, but it looks like these are on hold position.
Oh my god, and Rex, he hasn't quite noticed yet. It looks like Vindicta is going to get past the army, but at the same time, is this intentional? Is this a trap from Rex?
Yeah, and there we go. He does activate the trap, and that's going to be a lot of these ghosts going down.
Oh my god, beautiful connections there for Rex. Finally, he gets the fight that he wanted, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, these Liberators going to be sieging up on top of the Lurkers. The Lurkers quickly unsieging, getting out of there as the nuke goes down on the top left-hand corner. Things are happening all over the map here right now as Vindicta. He's going to have to keep up with those rotations of the Lurkers.
Yeah, he's being outpositioned a little bit here as Rex. Okay, he doesn't commit. He does have to respect all of these Liberators. He still doesn't have an answer, by the way. He doesn't have too many Hydras as they've all been morphed into these Lurkers, and he doesn't have a spy for Corruptors.
Yeah, these Lurkers, despite being a little bit out of position, are going to be able to just get up and out of there with that quick unsiege. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, we are seeing these Lurkers getting into position, just trying to get these Libs out of position, but Vindicta, he is fast enough to keep up here.
He is fast. We do need another scan. There we go. Scan does get thrown down. 3 Lurkers going down once again. Rex trying to push in on the right-hand side, and a Nidus into the main base.
Yeah, Rex is trying to pull Vindicta apart, but I love this bunker in the main here. Very nice. Does mean that he can kind of F2 his army as well, and he's not going to get disrupted. Meanwhile, we see a second lot of nukes being started up here as the Liberators come around to harass. So Vindicta, he's absolutely in his comfort zone in this game.
Yeah, finally Vindicta has the freedom to go for this harassment. This entire time he's been forced to keep his Liberators back at home with his main army, but now he can harass the top left-hand corner of the map. And again, there just isn't much anti-air at all for Rex.
Yeah, Vindicta, he is refusing to let Rex mine from a 5th base here. He is not only splitting this map, but he is just not letting Rex have his way at all. He's been denying the mining on this top left-hand side so well, and that means Rex, he's completely broke. He is barely mining minerals right now.
Exactly, he doesn't have any minerals at all. He's going to take a decent fight here on the left-hand side. He has rebuilt a lot of these Hydras. That's going to be his anti-air of choice. He's not willing to try and transition out of this composition. He just can't afford to, as the nuke should take down the right-hand base, and likewise, these spores are having a hard time dealing with those Libs.
Yeah, that top left-hand base, that is not mining at all, and the right-side base not mining and going down now as well. This is very well-controlled game coming out from Vindicta.
Yeah, slow and steady, just picking apart Rex from the seams right now. Rex, he's just struggling to mine right now. He's trying to go for another bit of a lurker run by on the left-hand side, but there are plenty of Libs to deter that.
Yeah, that mine is in position, going to be dragged into all of those lings. The wall, not quite a wall, so that does mean that Rex is going to be getting in here, but this does feel like a little bit of a desperation move, and there's a lot of lings going down. Vindicta, he's going to be happy to just find himself back there and drops the mules to repair the wall, actually. I love that.
Wow, the mules get dropped here to repair the wall. The wall is indeed a wall. The run by gets dealt with. At the same time, Rex does have a little lurkers. Bear that in mind. He's going to try and find a way in, but at the same time, does get a couple of yoinks on the ghost, but can't push up into the Libs.
Wow, you can see that Rex, he's trying to out-multitask Vindicta. He's trying to stretch him this way and that way with the Nidus, with the attacks, with the Lurkers everywhere. But Vindicta, he is just too fast for him. He's showing that his skills, he is such a fast player. Look at this Liberator. He's been able to keep this alive for so long here. He really is just outpacing Rex in this game.
Exactly. Rex just cannot keep up. He's trying to try and pull Vindicta apart, but he's kind of pulling himself apart in the process here. This is why kind of give Vindicta a normal game, give him a mid game, give him a late game, and he can thrive. Game 1 was a little bit unfortunate in that respect, but here he is proving himself.
Yeah, that's right. As we see this Nidus going down once again, couple changelings just giving the vision here, but Vindicta is just going to be able to siege up these Libs on top of this, and you really do not want to be coming out of there as Rex here.
Yeah, the Nidus will go down in the end. It looks like Rex is trying to expand on the right-hand side once again after the base got taken down from those nukes. But just like that, Vindicta is back, even sniped some of the Hydras.
Yeah, snapping down all of these Hydras is going to be able to put pressure on the right side base here, and I think this is the beginning of the end for Rex. He just cannot get another base up here. He's been having such trouble getting mining, and that's a kill, not a cancel.
Exactly. The base goes down. That's not even Vindicta's entire army. He does have another force on the left-hand side, and Rex cannot deal with any of them. He does have his lurkers here on the right to try and protect that triangular third base, but he doesn't have anything on the left.
Yeah, these mines are going to come in big as well. Nice shots there. He's going to force up a siege on these lurkers as well as attacking this left-hand side. And that left-hand base, it has been denied mining for so long. And it finally goes down, and that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Rex is taken out, and Vindicta gets the CranKy Ducklings on the board.
GG, well played. Vindicta Miguelito, the Shaft himself, is able to take a game here for the CranKy Ducklings, proving that he's the ace player for a reason. Again, game one was so unfortunate the way it played out against that two-base muta, but again, I'm really happy that he was able to really show off here in game two.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is a game that has a lot of eyes on it, as it is, of course, Onsyde. One of the favorites to take this thing down, and for Vindicta to show off his skill set there so wonderfully is really great for the CranKy Ducklings as well.
Yeah, again, I just hope that the people watching will be able to appreciate Vindicta a little bit here, as, of course, he is going to be continuing his run in World Team League for us and also participating in DreamHack North America as well.
Yeah, 100%. He is going to be in that NA bracket, so be sure to cheer him on there. But that wraps things up now for tonight. So Onsyde Gaming, they are, of course, going to be able to take the win here, but not without losing a map.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the CranKy Ducklings, we fought back a little bit here and, you know, kind of going over some of those games. Again, PattyMac trying to go for his signature style, but it did feel like Solar had found him out. And hopefully this forces PattyMac to adopt his style a little bit. I hope that he can learn from this. Dolan as well, right? How often do you really have a chance to play against players of the caliber of Maru and Solar?
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of the things that's so great about Code S is it really is a bit of a learning opportunity for these players that are trying to break into those top echelons to be able to play against such world-class players as Maru and Solar, really the best of the best. That is what it takes to bring yourself up to that next level.
Exactly. So I hope they're able to gain something from this series. I know they will. And with that, congratulations to Onsyde Gaming. Looks like both of them and Psystorm were able to take the 5-1 wins over their opponents. But again, at least we didn't go down without a fight. No 6-0s.
Yeah, 100% getting that map on the board. Those map wins are going to matter a lot when it comes to relegation at the end of the season, when it comes to those fighting out for those ranks, trying to get ourselves up ahead into the next Code S.
Definitely. And now as we get into the next week, into round 3, I don't know if they're going to have a graphic for it, but the CranKy Ducklings, we are going to be playing against Alpha X next week.
Yeah, so playing against not one of the very top teams, a team that we might have a little bit more of a chance to start looking at getting some wins on the board, in fact. So that's going to be a very exciting one coming up soon.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, Alpha X, they have players like Ragnarok, like Estrella, two to name a few. But outside of the two of them, they no longer have Trigger as a strong third. Maybe Future?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some strong options for Alpha X. I believe, yeah, they still have Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do have some star players to look out for. But you know what? I reckon if Vindicta does get to go up against Ragnarok, we might see a little bit of an upset there.
I would love to see it. I want to see my boys play against all these top tier players. I'm just getting a little bit of my own kind of joy out of that, out of seeing them go up against the best of the best. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed their time here in the chat. Shout out to the other language streamers as well. It wasn't just us, but Crank was also casting in Korean, and I believe Wardy was casting in English.
Yeah, so plenty of eyes on that one. I know Wardy, definitely someone who, has a very storied following as well. So I'm glad that Vindicta and the rest of the CranKy Ducklings got to show what they were made of in front of such a good audience.
Definitely. Oh, so with that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Asher, when are we going to be seeing your lovely face and your lovely stream again?
Right now. We are if you do want to catch my stream, which I reckon I can commit to Saturday.
Oh.
You can find me on Twitch TV /AsherBro. And assuming that you will not be sticking out of action for the next 2 weeks, which is a pretty big assumption to make, where would we be able to find you?
Yeah, I didn't stream today because I was a little bit unwell. I still am horribly unwell. I do look forward to jumping into bed soon. But if you want to tune into me, light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter, I will try and stream throughout the week if I am feeling a little bit better. But of course, the stream, we only stream to feel worse about ourselves. We try not to smudge, puppy. We try not to smudge. So if you're interested, you can check me out there. Otherwise, check out the CranKy Ducklings. We're all over the place: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We're all over the social medias, and we post whenever we go live. We're going to try our best to cast as much of WTL as we can, especially because I'm actually pretty sure Wardy didn't cast all of this series because of EPT. Yeah, he may have gone early. So we're going to do our best to try and cover World Team League as much as we can. Not just that, but we have other tournaments that we run as well. We've been a little bit busy with DreamHack ourselves, but now that, the regionals and the group stage is finished up, we can focus a little bit more on our Twitch channel.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be trying to cast a lot of those games that are coming up. We did cast, I believe we covered most of this week. And yeah, there's some pretty exciting matches coming up next week. Just having a little bit of a look through here. We do have Team Liquid versus DPG. That's a pretty exciting one to look forward to. Yeah. We got SSLT versus KaiZ. We didn't get to cast KaiZ this week, so maybe we'll be able to do so next time. Shopify Rebellion versus Invictus Gaming, and Team GP versus Psystorm. Yeah, that's right. So plenty to look forward to.
Exactly. With that, thanks so much for watching. Massive shout out to Kuro as well. Kuro was handling production today, not observing, but handling the stream and making sure everything was looking good. So thank you so much, Kuro. Let's get a thanks Kuro in the chat for our point redemptions. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in a couple of days, Friday night, for more World Team League.
That's right. We'll see you then. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and supporting the CranKy Ducklings. And have a good morning, afternoon, night, wherever it is you are.